know about you guys, but I really feel like the entire existence of this show has been culminating for us to do this one we're getting ready to do tonight.
You think?
This show is pretty bitchin'.
Well, Dave's angry, so there's that.
Angry's not the right word. I need to change it to piss the fuck off.
Oh. Hello and welcome to the Filter Free Podcast. I am your host, TJ Stevens.
Problematic.
Out of my left earbud.
Getting off to a banging start here.
Joining me as always,
Step Hens.
Dollar Bill Dave.
I touched myself.
I just need to clip that. Just Dave leaning for I touched myself.
And Timmy C.
Goo, goo, goo.
Dave's is awesome, and he got a new hat, and it's hilarious. Are you drunk, yes or no? And it's marked on the right-hand side for both.
Time limit draws get my panties wet. I love it.
We've covered this butt wipe on a few different occasions.
Butt wipe?
You don't call people butt wipe anymore?
No. I'm not 7. Good news is I've limited the producer's amount to screw us over this, so we're actually going to get to sing along with the songs now. You are welcome.
You gotta fight for your right to party!
Pow!
Hello and welcome to the Filter Free Podcast. I am your host, TJ Stevens.
Step Hens.
Joining me as always, Dollar Bill Dave.
Here.
Timmy C.
Who?
Please remember to subscribe and rate this show wherever you get your podcasts. I'm just going to jump right into it because clearly I don't think we have anything else to discuss right now. While you're at it, follow the show on Twitter at FF Podcast.
What are you talking about?
On what?
We don't have anything to discuss?
No. What is that?
That is my quarterback showing up slim shadied out.
Why does he look
Looks
Bart?
like Feminim.
Actually, what?
He looks
Yeah.
like Bart Simpson as an adult.
Well, we'll see on August 10th. Well, he probably won't play that game. That's a preseason game. He saves all his bullets for when the real games begin.
So he can get hurt bright and early in the season and not play anymore.
Incorrect.
Against Carolina.
No, not going to happen.
Which part?
He's not going to get hurt against Carolina. He's going to have a healthy season. Bengals going to win the Super Bowl.
Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from? Broken Knee Joe. Blah, 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 blah.
That was the first season.
Timmy C's here. I think we said that already.
Mhm.
Follow the show on Twitter at FF Popcast, on Instagram at Filter Free Popcast. I have pizza sauce on my. Oh, that is a scratch. I'm bleeding. And follow the network on Twitter at Ram Sportsnet. Timmy, we have so much available at patreon.com/Ram Network, and there's so much more coming. I mean, we just discussed 3 new shows today.
Correct. But if you go tonight to www.patreon.com/Ram Network, you will get all of our legends. Let's Rethink This got a new one coming. Football is getting paid with Tim and Dave. The season is getting ready to start. Training camp for the Bengals started yesterday. I'm excited. Does Tampa Bay even have a training camp, Dave?
No, they're so good they don't do training camp. They just skip it.
The Bears, they just
they don't even play in the regular season.
Yeah, they're not a team. We actually been demoted to the CFL.
the Bears have been migrated to Canada. Got it. I love it.
What's that word? And they do that in soccer in Europe.
Relegated.
Relegation. Yes,
we're relegated to the CFL.
Not even the UFL. They got relegated to a different country.
No, like you get out of North America. Well, technically it's still North America, but up yonder. Go up there.
Up yonder. You will get Old School Evolution of Evil Wrestling with commercials, which we cut one a couple weeks ago, and it was fabulous. World class flashback.
We've been pushing those out a lot.
We have, and they are funny. Hard Times and Beyond. Era's the New Generation. Just put it in your mouth. An Audience with the Belt Pope. And I was there. Plus, you'll always get your standards TNA Top 10. 2 times a week now. They got their football show going and then their regular top 10. Talking Wrestling with Pine Water Dave for all of the independent wrestling you could ever want. Us and a ton of other content, which we have that coming.
We do. A lot coming. I was going to say something just now, and I, for the life of me, can't remember what it was.
It's all that blood loss.
He got a heart on?
I'm also confused. What am I losing? Oh, for my hand. I got it.
Oh.
I got you. I'm with you. But you know what I am going to get a chub on for is this show. Are you all ready to do this? Because I am so ready. It is not funny.
So ready.
I'm so excited for this show because this week we're going back to July of 1994. Let's see what was happening in your world yesterday. But first, let's run through some events. Filter free up first stories that missed the cut. July 2nd, a story we have covered in detail way back in the day. July 2nd, John Wayne Bobbitt and Christina Elliott are both arrested for domestic battery.
His went from like a D battery to a triple A, from what I heard.
Thankfully, he didn't lose his Johnson this time.
I was going to say, I think he went battery free for a while.
He should have.
Maybe
it was like a hearing aid battery.
I still remember doing that show, and I remember you saying they discovered his
nether regions,
his ding dong in a cornfield, and I could not control
myself. It was near a railroad track.
Either way, wherever it was, I laughed for like 9 minutes. It almost ruined the show. July 3rd.
Imagine the ruin it did to him.
I mean, he got on an episode of WWF Raw's War, so I mean, it wasn't that bad. July 3rd, we had the deadliest day in Texas traffic history as 46 people died in various accidents throughout the state.
Everything's bigger in Texas.
That's right. July 3rd, Pete Sampras defends his Wimbledon title in 3 sets over Goran Ivanisevic. I've been waiting all week to say that name.
Goran Ivanisevic. Good job.
That's what I said.
Okay.
July 4th, Joey Marella, a referee for the WWF and the adopted son of Gorilla Monsoon, dies in a car accident.
Didn't know he was adopted.
Yeah, he was.
He was
adopted. It was his real son.
No, he's adopted. I believe he died on the Jersey Turnpike as well.
Lots of people have.
Driving home from a show?
Yeah, I think he was driving home from a show, yeah. July 5th, Amazon.com is founded by Jeff Bezos in Bellevue, Washington. We've covered that story before.
It's an online bookstore. That shit will never work.
Yeah, I wonder what he's up to these days.
The NBA.
$40 bajillion. That's what he's up to.
July 5th, Shohei Ohtani, baseball badass for the Dodgers, is born in Oshu, Owate, Japan.
Bless you.
I think you meant gambling badass.
No, that was his translator.
Yeah, sure it was.
Sure.
Definitely, allegedly his translator.
Everyone knows that. July 8th, founder, dictator, and supreme leader of North Korea, Kim Il-sung, dies from a heart attack at age 82.
Couldn't have happened to a nicer guy.
I couldn't.
Oh, you're busting my balls, Hans Bricks.
Hans Bricks. Why is everyone so fucking stupid? July 13th, Tanya Harding's ex-husband, Jeff Gillooly, is sentenced to 2 years in prison for the attack on Nancy Kerrigan. Of course, in the 4-year history of the show, we've covered that one too.
150 times, it seems like.
And it never gets old. July 14th, a gas explosion at a senior citizen home in Milan kills 27.
Wow. Okay.
It's called Milan. It's in Illinois.
Milan, Illinois.
There's also one in Tennessee.
It was Salisbury Steak Night.
That's where that pizza restaurant we went to. Remember we went and picked up pizza when y'all were at my old house?
Yeah,
yes. That was in Milan, Illinois.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Nice. July 15th, hundreds of thousands of Hutus flee Zaire in the Congo near the end of the Rwandan genocide. We are not covering this in detail for 2 reasons. 1, we couldn't possibly do it justice. And 2, it would be impossible to research this enough in a week to properly cover it.
I don't know. I bet I could do it.
Somehow you would find some sort of like shady side to this. And
a shady side to a genocide. Shocker. I'd be able to find that.
Yeah. But no, I meant like, the side we should cheer for. Like, well, actually,
yeah.
July 15th.
All the Zulus were fucking monkeys and shit. That's weird.
July 15th. New Jersey Nets forward Derek Coleman is accused of rape in Detroit.
Definitely, allegedly.
I never
raped
knew that.
girl.
I don't remember how that story ended.
I don't either.
She got fucked.
Literally, the first I heard of this story was typing it in the notes.
Keep going.
He was
He's looking it up.
falsely accused of rape.
Very falsely accused.
I'm sure he was.
There you go.
Yeah, well, that's what this.
Well, she
letter
definitely got
says.
fucked in the deal.
July 16th, the Shreveport Pirates lose their first CFL home game 35-34 to the Toronto Argonauts.
Maybe because they shouldn't be playing there.
Now, when I wrote this story and Timmy saw it, this was almost a story in the wheelhouse because it's so ridiculous. He told me they played that in Shreveport, Louisiana.
I was going to say, is that Shreveport, Louisiana?
And I said, surely there's got to be a Shreveport, Canada somewhere. No, they played this bullshit in Shreveport, Louisiana.
It's the most southern Canadian city in North America is in Shreveport, Louisiana.
That's like putting an NFL team in Brazil.
To be fair, they speak French like French Canada.
Yeah.
Do they?
Yes.
Shoot them, little bit. Shoot them.
In fact, I think we ought to annex Louisiana to Canada. We should start that movement.
Like all of it or just part of it?
Yeah, just the whole thing.
The whole, okay. July 17th. Oh, Timmy's on a roll tonight. Hulk Hogan beats Ric Flair for the WCW World Heavyweight title at WCW Back at the Beach.
Only a decade too late.
Hulk Hogan's debut with the company. His first appearance.
Well, they put him over good. So
they sure did. July 18th. Seal releases Kiss from a Rose, which would go on to win Grammy Record and Grammy Song of the Year.
I've been kissed by a roach on the
bed. Ooh,
baby, I compare you to a kiss by a rose on the grave. Ooh, the more I get of you, the stranger.
He was actually just a huge fan of Golden Girls and B. Arthur.
Trivia time.
Already?
What movie?
Batman Forever.
There you go.
It was Batman Forever, yes.
Alicia Silverstone.
So I'll go one deeper.
George Clooney was Batman.
On this album, there was also
wrong Batman. This was Val Kilmer.
That's Val
was
Kilmer.
it?
But
when did George Clooney do it?
The next one.
The next one in like 96.
I thought that was
Batman. That was Batman and Robin. You were talking about.
So also on this album was a U2 song called "Kill Me."
Hold me, thrill me, kiss me, kill me.
Kill me. Love that song. That's
on that album.
Underrated. Yeah, underrated song.
It was also one by the greatest group of all time,
Run DMC.
Bone Thugs and Harmony. Look into my eyes.
Oh, I do remember that. Well done.
Look into my eyes, you will see what you mean to me.
Did you
love that song?
Did you
I didn't even know it was Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Did you just Bryan Adams this?
What?
From Three Musketeers?
I annexed Bone Thugs and Harmony to Canadian.
Bryan Adams, he crushed it.
July 18th, Crayola releases scented crayons, confusing first graders for years on whether or not you're supposed to eat them.
You're not?
And
it's just wax. It comes out.
And adults apparently also. July 20th, after a busy month, which included a jury finding enough evidence to move forward with the trial against O.J. Simpson, this asshole offers a $500,000 reward to the person who provides evidence to find his wife's killer. I'd love to take him up on that offer. Oh, wait, he's dead. Fuck him.
I would really like to just be like, here's a picture of you killing him. Can I get my money now?
Hey, I found this jersey of yours on eBay. I win. July 22nd, Mets pitcher Dwight Gooden is admitted to the Betty Ford Clinic in California for substance abuse. We've covered that before. We've covered him before. I really included this next story because it's from our early days. And A, I thought we needed an update, and B, it just made me feel good to say it again. The final steel beam is placed on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland.
Jesus Christ. We covered the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame 18 out of the first 24 shows.
I'm
feel
pretty
like
sure we did a lot of Rock and Roll Hall of Fame stories.
we did.
Yeah.
I feel like the first 20 episodes were all about this and Jacobs Field.
To be fair, Cleveland sucks. So
I'll be there next weekend.
congrats. I'll never go there.
Okay. July 28th, Kenny Rogers throws the only perfect game in Texas Rangers history against the California Angels.
Then he sang Islands in the Stream.
Islands in the street.
Thank you.
That is what we are.
No one ever between. How can we be wrong?
Sail away with me to another place.
And
We
it's
can
another
rely on each other.
Uh-huh.
From one lover to another.
I really enjoyed this entire show so far. Has been throwbacks to like the first 15 episodes.
Did I ever tell you all about the time I got 100% singing Islands in the Stream on Nintendo Wii?
Not
Ever
since,
tell you
American
about the
Idol.
time you met Steven Tyler?
not since the other co-host was here. Since we're bringing it back shit from back then.
Oh, bullshit, motherfucker.
Speaking of, did you see that the Jericho Cruise announced their lineup this week?
For
Yep,
next year?
I saw that.
It's
I did
fucking
not.
terrible. It is fucking terrible. Jerry Sags headlining.
Jerry Sags.
Yeah.
Not the Nasty Boys.
Nope, just Jerry Sags.
Jerry Sags. Whoa. I was going to say Doink, and somehow that's worse.
Yeah.
Because at least it'd be like Doink, man, that's not even the real Doink. But then I get the real Jerry Sags. Okay, that's cool. Where's Brian? July 31st, Phil Rizzuto and Steve Carlton are headed to the Baseball Hall of Fame.
It's Rarudo.
It's Rizzuto.
Rarudo?
It's Rarudo.
Rarudo. Those are Z's.
Those are Z's. Stories in the Wheelhouse. July 5th, one of the most prolific albums of the 1990s and one that indeed became the soundtrack of the decade, Cracked Rear View by Hootie and the Blowfish is released. Now, as a giant Hootie fan as a kid, and even
Look at
now,
all those Grammys. Jesus.
and that was just 1 year.
That
Hootie
was
and the
one
Blowfish-
album.
Hootie and the Blowfish is vastly underrated as far as their impact in the 90s, but I dare you, I implore you to find a rom-com show or movie that didn't at least play Hold My Hand at some point. While researching this album, I found even more fascinating is that the band had an album before this one.
It was an EP, actually, not an album.
Okay, and it was called Coochie Pop. All one word.
I did that too back in college.
You told us about that too. Cracked
Pop.
Review.
That coochie. Hey, pop that coochie, baby. Pop, pop, pop.
Cracked
remember that song.
Review. Cracked Review actually had a slow start in 94, debuting at only number 127. However, it surged in 95, topping the charts 5 different times while selling over 7 million copies. Everyone our age remembers the phenomenon that was the album Crazy Sexy Cool by the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Do fucking what?
What?
No. All right, there was an album that was Crazy Sexy Cool.
Yeah.
That was TLC. There was an album by the Red Hot Chili Peppers that was Blood Sugar Sex Magic.
I think I meant that one.
Yeah, you kind of combined them. I could see the Red Hot Chili Peppers singing Waterfalls. I mean,
What about
No.
your friends?
don't go
Well,
chasing
yeah,
waterfalls.
I think
Terrible.
it was. I think I meant that one.
Goddamn terrible.
I was so excited. Thank you, Timmy. I was so excited to do the show, and you just ruined it.
I believe in rainbows yesterday. I can just see Anthony Colitis, whatever, doing that.
Cracked Review beat that album by 2.2 million copies for the
Mainly
record.
because we didn't know who sang it. So
And it came out the year before. When you include this album and the 1996 album they did called Fairweather Johnson, which I also had, Hootie was the top-selling band of 1996. Cracked Review between 95 and 96 sold 100,000 copies per week for 40 weeks during a time in which the music industry was facing a sort of sales depression. And
40 million copies?
Is
Yes.
that math? Is that how that works?
No, 100,000 copies for 40 weeks. That's 4
That's
million.
It's 4 million.
I was being facetious. Haven't you ever seen the damn movie Dodgeball?
I have.
No, I ain't seen it.
What?
You haven't seen Dodgeball?
No.
All right, if you come watch Dodgeball, I'll watch Saturday Night Fever or whatever that movie is you want me to watch.
Breakfast Club.
Yeah, same thing.
And Saturday Night Fever.
Deal.
But I've talked about all this, and I haven't even mentioned I Only Want to Be With You.
Song's overrated.
You're overrated.
Well, it's got Dan Marino in the video, though, so that's
You know what's better than Only Want to Be With You? Let Her Cry.
You know what? I'll give you that.
Yeah, see. Critical reviews of Cracked Review were mostly positive. Editors at AllMusic rated this album 4.5 out of 5 stars. Huh?
It's a
With
5.
critic Stephen Thomas Erlewine writing that the album as the success story of 1994-95 and continued, although Hootie and the Blowfish aren't innovative, they deliver the good, turning in an album of solid, rootsy folk rock songs that have simple, powerful hooks.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
A revive for retailers by Billboard compared the music to Counting Crows and John Mellencamp and spotlighted Hold My Hand as particularly accessible. Hootie and the Blowfish would go on to win their Grammy Award for Best New Artist, and Let Her Cry won the Grammy Award for Best Pop Performance by a Duo or Group with Vocals. Told you, Let Her Cry was better.
Oh, there's a lot of great songs on this album, by the way. Well, TJ, not sure where to start here. Crazy, Sexy, Cool by the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
You didn't have to start there.
What are you doing?
You just brought it back up.
All right. You guys both know I'm a gigantic fan of Hootie. Seen him live around 9 times. In fact, I'm going to see them Saturday. Well, it'll be last Saturday by the time this drops, but I'm going to see him Saturday, Nashville, Bridgestone Arena. In 2008, Rucker announced at an AOL, that's how old they are, Sessions interview that the band would go on hiatus for several years so that Rucker could pursue his solo career as a country music performer. Rucker confirmed the band would still perform their scheduled charity concerts, but added they would not record on tour. Rucker went on to record his solo albums, Learn to Live, Charleston, South Carolina, 1966, True Believers, Home for the Holidays, and Southern Style. He had a pretty nice country career.
Love Southern Style.
Nothing he did in country will match what he did with Hootie.
And he actually had a pretty decent country run.
He did, but it's not going to match up to Hootie.
He'll be Hootie forever.
The band reunited for a one-time performance on the late one-time performance. And okay, on the Late Show with David Letterman in the run-up to Letterman's retirement from the show in May 2015. That one time. On December 3rd, 2018, the band announced a 44-city group therapy tour with Bare Naked Ladies in 2019 to commemorate the 25th anniversary of the release of Cracked Rear View. I saw them in Cincinnati on this tour. They were awesome.
I would have gone to see that.
The band's 6th studio album, Imperfect Circle, was released on November 1st, 2019. They still have all original members from the band except for the drummer, but the drummer's been there since 1989, so he's kind of the original drummer. The first guy lasted 3 years. The second guy lasted 27, so.
Country Darius Rucker's better.
You're so wrong. Not even close.
Yeah. Again, Darius Rucker country is good. Hootie, epic.
And he does a lot of cocaine.
Who?
Does he?
He just got arrested for it.
Did he?
Yeah, in Nashville.
I don't pay attention to that.
Is he going to be there Saturday?
He was arrested like a month ago for cocaine possession or something. I'll find it.
I don't.
While we look up his criminal record, let's start with the next story. July 6th, the next day after Cracked Review came out, one of the greatest movies ever also is released.
Country star Darius Rucker arrested on drug charges in Tennessee. That was on February 2nd, 2004.
2004?
I mean, 2024.
It was still February.
That was 5 months ago.
What are the drug charges?
You go ahead and find out. Before
And his ex-wife or his ex-girlfriend, comedian Kate Quigley,
What?
was not sympathetic. Was not sympathetic.
There's
Yes,
no
I've
way.
heard.
That Kate
All I
Quigley-
can say is karma, Quigley wrote on X in a supposed reaction to the arrest. Hours later, Quigley posted a bikini selfie on the platform caption, "Mood when you hear your D-bag ex got arrested. Hashtag karma." The post has since been deleted.
I enjoy that. A great deal.
So your favorite singer and your favorite comedian. There you go.
There you go, Timmy. Together.
I love that they hate each other. That's awesome.
July 6th. Again, the next day after Crack Review is released.
By the way, no one knew that Corrector Review was released, but okay.
What do you mean?
It was. They just told you that it was shit to begin with. So
Yeah,
Yeah, it didn't hit till 95.
95.
yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm saying it's still the next day.
Let her cry.
Its popularity does not change the date in which it was released. I don't know why you're arguing with me.
As the tears fall down her face.
We shouldn't have gone live. This show sucks so far.
No, it
show's
doesn't.
great.
Awesome.
July 6th. One of the greatest movies ever is released as the epic story of Forrest Gump is released. First of all, this story is 2 hours and 22 minutes long, and somehow it feels like it wasn't long enough. Second of all, keep in mind that in this movie, or in the show rather, that we were doing, we've mentioned Crack Review, Kiss from a Rose, and now Forrest Gump. July 94 is bitchin'.
Yeah.
And I mean, everyone you know, and indeed ever met, has seen this movie. Let's prove it. The film was directed by Robert Zemeckis and was based on the book by Winston Groom with the same name. That I did not know until I researched it. It stars Tom Hanks, Robin Wright, Gary Sinise, McKelty Williamson, and Sally Field. In 1981, at a bus stop, a man seemingly waiting for the bus recounts his life to people who sit with him on the bench. Some people even chose to miss their bus and wait for the next one to continue listening. For what appears to be hours, Forrest recounts his time as a child, his time in the Army during Vietnam, his time as a kick returner for the University of Alabama, and showing Lyndon B. Johnson his ass. The film was shot in Beaufort, South Carolina, as well as part of Virginia and North Carolina. This film was shot in a $55 million budget, which seems too high, and made an astounding $678.2 million, or as adjusted for inflation for today's money, $1.4 billion. This movie was so strong in the theaters for so long, it was the second highest grossing film of 95 after a reissue, finishing behind only The Lion King. At the time of release, the only two movies this trailed in total gross income ever was E.T. and Jurassic Park.
Yeah, it was good. I think you may have missed one small fact. It was also in Savannah at one point because, well, we'll get to that. Tom Hanks signed onto this film after an hour and a half of reading the script, which, by the way, reading that script would take like 47 hours. Yeah. But agreed to take the role only on the condition the film was historically accurate, which, by the way, it was ridiculously historically accurate.
It is, yeah.
The actor who plays the scene when Tom Hanks visits Washington, D.C. after his tour of Vietnam War himself was an actual tourist from Atlanta, Georgia. He happened to be on Capitol Hill that day with his wife, and he was asked to read. Crazy. Literally the attention to detail. When Gump calls to report the Watergate burglary, the security guard answering the phone says, "Security, Frank Willis." He was the actual guard on duty during that night, and it was the person who discovered the break-in. Crazy.
I feel like we might be covering that soon.
The park bench that Tom Hanks sat on for much of the movie was located in historic Savannah, Georgia, at Chippewa Square. The fiberglass bench he sat on has since then been
Maybe
removed.
he's a Chippewa.
It has been removed and placed in a museum to avoid being destroyed by bad weather or possibly stolen because people do that. The church where the feather first falls was about 100 yards just down the street from the bench. To this day, the bench is held in Savannah History Museum in Savannah, Georgia. Only reason I'd ever go to Savannah. Robin Wright.
Awesome, dude. What are you talking about?
Whatever. Savannah
bananas.
What? No, but they're never there. They're always touring. Robin Wright was sick with a cold while shooting at the nightclub scene. In spite of this, she was still able to perform her own singing during a non-stop 24-hour shoot in which she was nearly nude except for a guitar covering her.
She sharded.
And while we're on her, let's talk about that whore that Jenny was.
Hooer.
She banged every disgusting dude up and down the eastern and western seaboard, but shut out Forrest until she needed to pay for rent.
Mm-hmm.
Then when she found out she had AIDS, she dropped his kid off conveniently. Gross.
You mean his daddy's name Forrest too?
Exactly. Jodie Foster, Nicole Kidman, and Demi Moore turned down the role of Jenny mainly because she was a bad person.
I'd like to see Nicole Kidman do the Alabama accent.
Yeah. Well, maybe.
She's Australian.
Maybe. Good day.
Good day.
Are you stupid or something, mate? On review aggregator website Rotten Tomatoes, 76% of 157 critics reviews are positive with an average rating of 7.9 out of 10.
They're stupid. They are stupid.
That's bullshit.
I was expecting this to be an 11 out of 10.
Correct.
Yeah, it should be.
Just for Lieutenant Dan on the ship by itself, it's a 10
You
out of 10.
will not sink this boat!
This movie is so great.
Yeah.
Like, this is one of the greatest movies of all time. The website consensus reads, Tom Hanks' rigorously earnest performance keeps Forrest Gump sincere, even when it gets glib with American history, making for a whimsical odyssey of debatable wisdom but undeniable heart. I have no clue what any of that means.
Well, basically it means we don't like when he shows up in Lyndon Johnson and he's got to pee.
I thought
that is
like,
what
that was the best part of the movie.
Yes.
I remember watching that movie and my mother was just, how the hell do they do that?
Yeah.
All these historic times and they're going back and he's there drinking Dr. Pepper.
And they're accurate.
I must have drank me 16 Dr. Peppers.
Audiences polled by CinemaScore gave the film a rare A+ grade. There you go.
That.
Nailed it.
There you go.
Roger Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times wrote, I've never met anyone like Forrest Gump in a movie before. And for that matter, I've never seen a movie quite like Forrest Gump. Any attempt to describe him will risk making the movie seem more conventional than it is. But let me try. It's a comedy, I guess, or maybe a drama, or a dream. The screenplay by Eric Roth has the complexity of modern fiction. What a magical movie.
That's about right.
Yes. As for awards, Forrest Gump won Best Picture, Best Actor in a Leading Role, Best Director, Best Visual Effects, Best Adapted Screenplay, and Best Film Editing, all at the 67th Academy Awards.
I'd give it very close to Best Movie Ever. Like
Forrest Gump to me is one of the greatest movies of all time.
It's in the running. It's in the
definitely top 5.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not Ninja Turtles real people, but
so Timmy, you know what I just thought about is the story prior to this, we just covered Hooting the Blowfish, and I think
we missed me. We missed my turn. That means it's my turn. Let's go to Timmy's Trivioki.
Figaro. Figaro, 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 Figaro.
That's not Tosca.
Ugh, my ears.
My neck, my back.
Yep. I remember. Everyone remembers when Elvis performed that.
Jamaica. Ooh, I wanna take you to Bermuda, Bahamas. Come on, pretty mama. Key Largo, Montego, baby. All right, welcome to Timmy's Trivioki.
Finally.
Let her cry.
And we're gonna. There's no Hootie on this list. I made
know what? I'll give you credit on that.
Well, they weren't top 100 yet.
They didn't have anything on the top 100 at this point. So, and
Is
then
any crazy,
I'm guessing
sexy,
we're
cool
gonna
by the Red Hot
roll.
Chili Peppers on here?
Are we? No, there's no.
So I
TLC.
creep. Yeah, just creeping on.
All right.
Nobody else supposed to know.
Song number one. Clue number one. Mount.
Sex.
Rushmore. Well, we went in completely different directions.
Clue number two. Basketball.
I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky.
Clue number three. Death Row.
Basketball.
Clue number four. Above the Rim.
Oh, Tupac. No, not Tupac. The other guy.
Notorious
Wasn't he in
Big?
Above the Rim? Wasn't Tupac in Above the Rim?
Clue number five. Hit the east side.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know this, so
Regulators.
Mount up. It was a cold, dark day.
Yes. Regulate by Warren G and Nate Dogg. Wow, that was terrible.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't remember that from that movie.
why are you surprised?
It was a clear black night. A clear white moon. Warren G was on the street trying to pursue some girls from the east so I can get some whatever. All right. Song number two. Clue number one. Wrong. Clue number one. Hot chick with glasses.
Anna Kournikova.
I don't
She
think
didn't
she
wear
wore
glasses.
Glasses, yeah.
Yeah.
You don't know that? Maybe that bitch can't read good.
I don't think glasses fixes that.
She was like 7 in 1994.
Anna Kournikova?
Yes.
I don't think that's right either.
She may not have been born in 1994.
Jewel. What if God was one of us?
That's a great song.
First off, Joel did not
First
say
off-
what if God was one of us.
That was
Second off,
Mary
she didn't wear
Osborne.
glasses.
Mary Osborne, or whatever her name
Clue number
is.
2, 9 stories.
Tall building.
It depends where you are.
Clue number 3, apartment.
Your clothes are awful.
Yeah, this is shit.
Shit.
Clue number 4, Dweezil Zappa.
Macaroni and cheese.
What Dweezil Zappa?
Clue number 5,
I'm gonna punch you in your dick when
say
you go to bed at my house next.
I only
I only
hear
say
what I
what I
want
want
to do.
to.
I don't
what
even know
is
who
that?
sings that song.
Come
It's
on,
called-
DJ.
Oh. It's on Family Guy. They did a spoof about it.
Stay by Lisa Loeb and 9 stories. You say
Hey,
I only hear what I want
Is she the girl in the WNBA, Lisa Lobo?
No, that's Lisa Lobo. No, actually, no. That's you just combined Lisa Leslie and Rebecca Lobo. They're two different people. They're two very different people.
They had a mixed child. Jesus
Well,
Christ.
you
What
know,
are we doing
you can
here?
see I know my WNBA.
You're good.
You don't know your 1994 music, that's for damn sure.
Well, quit picking garbage.
Yeah,
and we
you
might be able
picking
to get
shit
one.
song. Well, regulators. are good, but
Garbage hadn't come out yet.
You're
I'm only happy when it rains. All right, song number 3, clue number 1, Horses in Buffalo.
Tim McGraw. Sit right here and have another
beer in
Buffalo. Mexico.
Where have all the cowboys
Kenny
gone?
Chesney.
Clue number 2, Indian Outlaw.
Tim McGraw. Cherokee people. Chippewa.
You almost made him speak. You almost made me
Clue number 3, fishing.
on the Chattahoochee.
Oh, this is little Jimmy gets what he wanted. Don't take the
Little Jimmy gets what he wanted. Clue number 4,
That's
Jimmy
the opposite.
Johnson.
That
Take
is
Jimmy Johnson. Take Tommy Thompson.
That is the opposite of what happens in that song.
Take my best friend Mo. I said don't take the girl.
Yeah, don't take the
That's correct.
You
That's
did
what I
say that.
said.
You said a couple minutes.
1-0.
Daddy,
Take
please don't
Don't
take
take the girl. Bear, bear,
Johnny's
bear,
daddy
bear, bear,
was
bear,
taking
bear,
him fishing when he was,
He was
8 years old.
Couple years down the road, boy and girl went to the movies. It was a picture show.
It's not any of the words. Hey.
After the movie, he got robbed like a bitch. Take my wallet, take my money, take my credit card. Isn't that part of the song?
I believe it is. Timmy quit, which is great. I'm glad he left because we have another game to play, and now we can't.
Go ahead, just hit the music.
Yeah.
Now it's time for Game Fave. Have you seen it?
You slip her the hot beef injection.
We're men in tights, tights.
God damn it, I got nothing, guys.
All right, it's time for Dave's Faves. TJ leads 9.5 to 7.5 this week.
That's about to get expanded because he ain't here. So
We'll wait.
should we? I don't think we
TJ,
should.
have you built a team on College Football 25?
Of course.
What's the name?
Well, it's Kent State because they're the least prestigious school in the game.
Oh, no, I meant built like your own team.
Oh no, I have not done that.
I built one. The University of the Quad Cities.
What?
They're the Bucks.
But
And they play at John Deere Stadium.
but you
They're the
hate it up there.
Bucks.
You hate it over there.
Yeah, but I made a green and yellow team.
I do like that.
The Bucks, get it?
Hit
I
his
do.
clip.
We already did. You weren't here.
Yeah. Where you been, Tate or not?
We're on movie number 3.
Yeah, TJ leads 14.5 to 2. You were losing points. Here we go. Movie number 1 this week. July 1994 had some big hits. Here we go.
And not Forrest Gump.
With a budget of $120 million. Our first movie this week grossed $378.9 million at the box office.
Double the budget, half the money of Forrest. Good.
This was the first movie to ever cost more than $1 million or $100 million to make.
Wow.
This is an American action comedy film. A fearless, globe-trotting, terrorist battling secret agent has his life turned upside down when he discovers his wife might be having an affair with a used car salesman while terrorists smuggle nuclear warheads into the United States. This film stars Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jamie Lee Curtis, and Tom Arnold.
What the hell is the name? I can
I have
see it.
I have no idea.
3, 2, 1. True Lies.
Yes.
For one, when you say a movie that stars Arnold and Tom Arnold, that sentence shouldn't exist.
It
By
also
the
has
way,
a kid,
I
Eliza
watched-
Dushku.
I watched the Roseanne and Tom documentary we covered last week.
Oh,
On
how
YouTube.
was it?
It was fucking terrible.
No, that was
Skip
on
it.
our. It was on our
Wrestling with the commercial.
commercial. Wrestling
Yeah.
with commercials.
Skip it. Skip. Don't. No.
Now we're definitely watching it.
No, it's terrible.
We're gonna watch that
Fucking
along
terrible. By the way, happy birthday,
Breakfast
Sarah.
Beauty or
And
whatever.
she knew True Lies, by the way. She messaged me. And
Here we go. With a budget of $23 million. Our second movie this week grossed more than $351.6 million at the box office.
It did all right.
It's good.
This is an American superhero comedy film. Bank clerk Stanley Ipkiss is transformed overnight into a maniac superhero after finding something mysterious in a pile of garbage in the water. This film stars Jim Carrey and Cameron Diaz.
I got this one.
Yeah, I got this
TJ Steppins.
Liar, liar.
No,
sorry.
idiot.
It's
Oh,
That's the mask.
one. Also, The Mask.
both. All right, Timmy, you got to win these next two without TJ getting them, and they are hard.
Just
well,
like me.
The fourth one's hard as shit. Maybe you'll get the second one. Or the third one. Here we go. Movie number C with a budget of $20 million. Our third movie this week grossed a grand total of $12 million at the box office.
Oof.
This is an American sports comedy film.
I've probably seen it.
12-year-old Billy Haywood is a Little League baseball player whose grandfather, Thomas Haywood, owns the Minnesota Twins. When Thomas dies, Billy learns that he is now the owner of the Twins. Thomas's will specifies that the team executives are to help Billy until he is old enough to run the team by himself. This film stars people I've never heard of: Luke Edwards, Timothy Busfield, and John Ashton.
I've seen this movie.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What you got, TJ?
I know it's wrong at the big leagues. I know it's wrong.
Oh, Timmy C.
Little Big League.
Little Big League. There you go. Timmy C. We are 1 point away
I should get a half a point for that.
from a tie break.
What?
I got 66% of the words right.
I'll give you 66 points.
Thank you.
All right, here we go. Our last movie of the week. It all comes down to this for a tie.
It's a tough one. I'm in.
On a budget of $40 million. Our fourth movie this week grossed a meager $48 million at the box office. And I saw this movie in the theater because my little brother wanted to go see it. It sucks balls.
I'm in. I can't wait.
This is an American superhero film that stars Eric Barron,
Eric Barron.
Joan Lone, Penelope Ann Miller, and Ian McKellen.
Well, so far I don't like my chances here.
Here we go. In 1930s New York City, a vigilante, he learns how to hypnotize others and bend their perceptions so that he becomes invisible.
I think you're making this up.
Terrorizes the city's underworld while battling his nemesis, Shaiwan Khan, who is building an atomic bomb. TJ, are you ready, Timmy?
I think so.
TJ Steppins.
I don't like my odds, but Dick Tracy.
No. Eric
Yeah.
Barron was not Dick Tracy. That
I'm
was
aware.
Warren Beatty.
No one saw the sack of shit you just listed off.
I went and saw it.
Well,
Sucked.
it's because you're a goof.
Timmy C.
Mr. Invisible?
No. The Shadow.
I got nothing.
And by the way, who's Eric Barr? Who is that?
Alec Baldwin.
Oh.
Eric Barron.
Have you
That
never
would
seen-
have helped.
Have you not been in our shows lately?
Have you not watched?
I'd have said Cape Fear.
You haven't seen Team America World Police?
No.
We've
Oh,
literally been,
I've seen parts of it.
We're watching it next week when you're at my house.
we've literally
No,
been quoting
we
it for
have
weeks.
2 things to watch.
We're not doing anything but watching movies the whole weekend
I like it.
on the boat. We're going to take a TV on the boat. I'll go get Starlink so we have Wi-Fi.
A generator.
Oh yeah, I'll probably need a
Yep.
generator.
Yeah.
Well, I have one. It's just
I've
loud. We won't be able to
got
hear the-
I've got a solar powered thing that would power it for at least 30 minutes.
Well, that sounds exciting.
By then, I'll throw Dave in the fucking lake and be like, "Get away from me with this shit."
Why do you have a freestanding solar panel?
That last 12
Because
minutes.
it attaches to this.
Is
a
it on your-
camping? It's a camping thing.
Is it on your roof right now?
No, you set it out and it catches sun.
Oh, well,
You
then
not
we'll
know
be
how
on the
solar
boat.
power works?
We'll be on the boat. We'll have power forever from the sun. Think
This-
smarter, not harder.
This is stupid. We're moving on. July 12th. We head to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania for the 65th edition of the Midsummer Classic with the AL and NL squaring off in the All-Star game. However, there was something looming over the head of baseball here as a whole that nearly killed the game. More on that here in a little bit. The All-Star game was a contentious game and loaded with some all-time greats. It was managed by Toronto's Cito Gaston and Philadelphia's Jim Fregosi. NBC had television broadcast rights and had Bob Costas, Joe Morgan, and Bob Euchre. How's that for a murderer's row? On the call with CBS.
Just a bit outside.
Just a bit outside. That's all we can manage. One goddamn hit. You
Ah,
say
shit.
You can't say that's my favorite line of that whole movie. It's
You
overrated.
can't say shit on the air.
You can't say
It's
goddamn.
okay,
on the radio.
nobody's watching.
Don't worry. No one's listening anyway. And CBS was on radio duties with John Rooney, Jerry Coleman, and Jeff Torborg. His son would go on to be the Kiss Demon in WCW.
Yeah, and he would go on to manage the Florida Marlins.
Yes, it's true. 59,568 people packed Three Rivers Stadium to watch Willie Stargell throughout the first pitch and then witness one of the greatest All-Star games ever. And this was, in fact, the first All-Star game home run derby I can remember watching as a kid. Back in these days, there was no World Series home field advantage on the line, but the players actually still had professional pride. Here are the elected starting lineups for each team. For the American League, you had Pudge Rodriguez behind the plate, Frank Thomas. What?
Dick Pill Hawkin, Frank
Thank you.
Thomas.
Roberto Alomar, Wade Boggs. Okay, Cal Ripken Jr.
Tempe Devil Rays legend.
Kevin Costner, Stan. Cal Ripken.
I thought you were going to say Kevin Costner's cuck.
Same.
Thing. Joe Carter, Ken Griffey Jr., and Kirby Puckett.
Fat ass Kirby Puckett.
Thank you. For the National League,
Blind ass Kirby Puckett.
That's rude. For the NL, behind the plate, Mike Pizza.
Mike Pizza, baby.
At first base, Greg Jeffries. How is that
That's
for a
weird.
name from the Pat? Mariano Duncan.
Cincinnati
Matt
Reds
Williams.
legend Mariano Duncan.
Shut up. Matt Williams, Ozzie Smith in his 13th All-Star game, Barry Bonds, Lenny Dykstra, and David Justice. For
Have
the
we ever talked about Lenny Dykstra? That'd be a good story.
not a deep dive. just
Cocaine.
his bullshit life story from the 86 Mets. For the record, every AL elected position player is in the Hall of Fame except Joe Carter, who we could probably argue should be in.
He should, for sure.
Maybe if Frank Thomas gets Joe Carter some dick pills, he'll get in the Hall of Fame.
Why?
Frank Thomas got there. Why wouldn't he?
I think he did it sans dick pills, though.
Think you need those dick pills to get in.
Okay. Well, the NL had 9 players in the Hall of Fame, while the AL had 11. 20 Hall of Famers were in this All-Star game.
This is a good team.
All right. This is my favorite All-Star game of all time.
Absolutely.
What?
All time. Going into the 9th inning, the American League led 7-5, and time appeared to be running out for the National League. Enter Tampa Bay Devil Rays legend Fred McGriff,
Chicago Cubs legend Fred McGriff.
the crime dog. With Craig Biggio on first and the National League down to their last out, McGriff was brought in to pinch hit and was the game-tying run. Veteran closer Lee Smith threw McGriff a splitter, and the crime dog hit that sucker to the moon, tying the game, which would eventually see the National League win in the 10th inning, thus becoming the game MVP. I remember watching this live and going crazy. At the time, McGriff was on my then favorite team, the Atlanta Braves, and it was so fun watching one of your heroes win an award for the All-Star game for a one-bat performance.
Imagine having a team so stacked, Fred McGriff's on your bench.
He left him. He left him on the bench to put him in late in the game in case he needed a hit.
You know who taught him that?
Tom
Amansky. The game on July 12th, 1994 at Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh, the home of the Pittsburgh Pirates. They're trash, by the way.
I think I said that.
It tied the Pirates with the Cleveland Indians, not Guardians, and the Reds of Cincinnati for the all-time record most All-Star games hosted by one franchise with 4. They've all hosted 4.
Has Cleveland hosted one since they became the Guardians? I don't know the answer to that.
No, they became the Guardians last season. No, or 2 seasons ago.
Yeah.
No, they've not. The Reds had 2 legends on this team, Jose Rio and Barry Larkin, 1 year before he would be the MVP. The weirdest thing I found about this All-Star game was that Will Clark was on the All-Star roster as a Ranger of Texas.
I forgot he played for them.
I thought he retired a Giant. Why did he continue his career? Terrible.
I wonder what his 94 season looked like.
I guess it was okay because he was an all-star.
We should look into that.
We should.
But today, I'm the greatest of all time.
Vernon and Waugh. McCurdy with a great left.
Here it is. H. Pressure with 3. Wentz is going to run the ball. Makes a guy miss. Comes down to over the second rafter. Off the floor. Nothing. Through the window. Off the wall. Nothing but net. You like that? You like that? I like that.
You gotta like that, right?
Here we go. Box score trivia.
You gotta like that, right?
You gotta like that, right? 1994 Major League Baseball league leaders batting average. Starting with, as usual, top 10. You're gonna have to give me 6. There's some big timers on here.
Tony Gwynn.
Led the league at 394.
Tampa Bay Devil Rays legend Wade Boggs.
8th, 342.
Will Clark of the Texas Rangers.
No.
Oh. Barry Larkin.
No. No red.
Frank Thomas.
5th, 353. There's 3. All Dave so far.
Give us some teams.
Toronto Blue Jays. Cleveland has 2.
John Olerud.
No. Great guess, though. I like that one.
You said Cleveland has 2?
Cleveland has 2.
So they have Albert Bell.
4th, 357.
Or, hold on. What are we on?
Batting
Average?
Yeah.
Albert Bell?
Yes. I also thought it was odd, but he was 4th.
Kirby
Cleveland.
Puckett.
Cleveland.
Kirby Puckett. No.
Cleveland. Kenny Lofton?
Tomei?
6th, 349. Dave has 5 in a row. We need one more. Dave, can he get the clean sweep?
Give us some more teams.
We got Montreal, Toronto, Colorado, the Yankees,
Marquise Grissom.
and Houston. No.
Walker.
Jeff Bagwell?
Jeff Bagwell, 2nd, 368.
No Walker?
No. Dave gets
Thanks for-
Who was the Rocky?
I'm going to let you know here in a second. Jeff,
Galarraga! God damn it!
not him either. Dave got 6 out of the 10. Here are the 4 you missed. Of the Montreal Expos, Moises Alou, 339.
Cincinnati Reds legend Moises Alou.
Chicago Cubs legend.
Hand pisser.
What was the
Pissed off at fucking Steve Bartman.
Steve Bartman
person.
legend?
Yeah.
Paul Molitor of the Blue Jays was
Of
341.
the Blue Jays. That sounds terrible.
Mike Kingery of the Colorado Rockies batted 349. He was 7th. And in third of the Yankees, Paul O'Neill, 359.
Cincinnati Reds legend Paul O'Neill.
Please be quiet. Let's move to home runs. Top 10. I might make you give me all of these.
Barry
King
Bonds.
Griffey Jr.
Griffey was second with 40. Barry Bonds was fifth with 37.
Matt
Bobby
Williams.
Bonilla.
Matt Williams led the league at 43. Bobby Bonilla, no.
Frank Thomas.
Fourth, 38.
Albert Bell.
Sixth, 36.
Dave Justice.
No.
Jeff Bagwell.
Third, 39.
Fred McGriff.
Seventh, 34.
Andres Galarraga.
Eighth, 31.
Ivan Rodriguez.
No.
How many more we need?
Mike Pizza.
So, of the ones you have left, you only have two.
Okay.
It's Texas, and it's not Will Clark.
One gone.
No.
Canseco.
Jose Canseco, 31.
What?
And the
In
guy
90, what?
94. And the guy in 10th is a Cincinnati Red in this season. Outfielder.
Shit. I
That's
can
not
see him.
I don't know his name. That's not his name.
Greg Vaughn.
Nope.
Mo Vaughn.
Nope. Move on.
Kevin Mitchell.
Kevin Mitchell, 10th with 30.
Did we just go 10 for 10?
You went 10 for 10.
My man.
Let's go to, you got a couple wrong, but you did get all 10.
Well, count.
Let's go.
We
for
got all 10.
pitching wins. Let's see here. We'll go 4.
Greg Maddux.
Tied for second with 16.
Tom Glavine.
Tom Glavine, tied for 9th with 13.
John Smoltz.
David Cohn.
No Smoltz. Cone was second with 16.
Clemens.
Randy
No.
Johnson.
Tied for 9th with 13. All right, give me one more because you kind of blasted through that. I didn't expect it.
Teams.
Jose Rijo.
No. Let's go.
Who was the guy that got traded from John Wetland?
Was the closer.
Oh, that's what
We got Toronto. The ones I
Pedro.
think we get. No, never played for the Blue Jays. We got Toronto, the Mets, Baltimore, and
David
the New York
Cone.
Yankees. You already said him.
I like him.
Oh, who's the guy?
Apparently.
Used to play him on RBI baseball. Or the Mets.
You say Doc Gooden?
Yeah.
No.
Saberhagen?
Brett Saberhagen tied for 6th with 14.
In 1990 something?
Oh, wait. There's some good ones. Are you ready for this? Here's the rest. Here's
Who's the guy on the Yankees? Fuck. What's his name?
Tied for 9th with the Blue Jays, Pat Henkin with 13. Tied for 6th with Brett Saberhagen. Danny Jackson of the Philadelphia Phillies. and
Cincinnati
Ben
Reds
McDonald.
legend Danny Jackson.
I know. The Montreal Expos, Ken Hill and Mike Mussina of the Baltimore Orioles.
Wow.
And your
Rookie Mike Mussina.
Your league leader, the New York Yankees, was 17, Jimmy Key.
Jimmy Key.
Toronto Blue Jays legend Jimmy Key.
Let's close up, no pun intended, with saves. Let's see.
John Wetland.
We'll go forward. John Wetland, 6th with 25.
Lee Smith.
Lee
He was
Smith
in the All-Star game.
led the league with 33.
Bobby
Points if
Thigpen.
You can name the team.
Cubs.
Nope.
Give us a hint.
AL East.
Baltimore.
Baltimore Orioles. Who'd you say, Timmy?
Bobby Thigpen.
No, he's not.
Rod Beck.
Rod Beck was 3rd with 28. There's 3. You need one more. Timmy, there's a guy on this list. You literally guess it every show. And you haven't guessed
Randy
it yet,
Myers.
and he's second.
Franco.
Well, here's what's fun. They're both on here. Tied for 8th. With the Cubs was Randy Myers with 21. John Franco was 2nd with 30. Here's the rest of your top 10. Trevor Hoffman with 20. Greg McMichael of the Atlanta Braves had 21. Rick Aguilera of the Twins had 23. Doug Jones of the Phillies had 27. Jeff Montgomery of the Royals had 27. And you got the top three. So there you go. That very well done this week. But Tom Omansky approves. As we mentioned in the All-Star game, there was a dark cloud kind of hanging over the game. And we're going to talk about it here. July 28th. This is the day the players decided to strike on August 12th, 1994. Now, you may be wondering why we're covering a sports strike as they normally happen on a fairly regular basis, unfortunately. But this one nearly killed baseball as the fans decided after the strike they had enough of players demanding for more money. And this strike is more than partially responsible for the death of a franchise in the form of the Montreal Expos. When the season ended officially on August 12th, your division leaders were the Yankees, White Sox, and Rangers in the AL, with the Reds, Dodgers, and Expos leading the way in the NL. The only two teams in the league that won 70 games were the Expos and the Yankees, and the Expos had won 74 games, while the Yankees had won 70. After becoming a team in the 1968 season, the Expos had some moderate success here and there, but this seemed to be the Expos' year to break through. Their lineup for opening day was Moises Alou, Sean Berry, Will Cordero, Darren Fletcher, Cliff Floyd, Marquise Grissom, Mike Lansing, Larry Walker, and Pedro Martinez. The success didn't translate very well in home ticket sales, with the team finishing with an average of 24,543 fans per home game, and they were also second from the bottom in team payroll at just over $19 million.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, that's like
That's a lot of young talent.
That's like triple the raise this year.
I was gonna say that's like 68% of Major League Baseball players make more than that now.
Yeah.
The Padres were the only team with a lesser payroll at just short of $15 million. With their star-studded lineup, certainly some high-dollar contracts are on the horizon, but some home playoff games and maybe even a World Series would certainly give the team some money to bolster the tiny payroll. After this season ceased to be and stole the Expos of playoff money, John Wetland was traded. I don't know why I put him twice. Marquise Wilson was also traded. Larry Walker went to Colorado in free agency. Pedro Martinez, I believe, also left in 95.
Delino DeShields would go on to be a Cincinnati Reds legend.
Nobody asked. With the lesser star power, the Expos just in 95 finished 66 and 78, good enough for the NL East basement, and indeed they never recovered, ultimately becoming the Washington Nationals in 2004.
The 94-95 MLB strike was the 8th and longest work stoppage in Major League Baseball history, which effectively killed the second half of the 94 season and the beginning of the 95 season, and marked the first time since 1904 that a World Series wasn't played. When TJ says it almost killed baseball,
It
he
did.
means it.
And by the way, it killed the 94 season.
For sure. And I mean, look at everything that was going on that year.
The All-Star game.
The mid-90s was the best for baseball.
Yeah.
You had Albert Bell trucking dudes, Frank Thomas. I mean, it goes on and on. The 90s was when baseball was the best.
Yeah.
Attendance dwindled, and during the first days of the 95 season, some fans remained irate at both players and owners. As the attendance plummeted, so did television ratings to a greater extent than during the last significant player strike in 1981. People were pissed. I remember them showing like Colorado Rockies and Oakland A's, and there was like tens of people there. It was ridiculous.
To be fair, in Oakland, there's still tens of people there.
My sister and I used to watch baseball, and after the strike, she has never watched a game since.
They lost over 20% of fan attendance in the 95 season compared to 94. And that's playing more games in the 95 season than they played in 94.
Yeah.
A few of the fans who did show up demonstrated their frustration and booed the players. The strike was seen as the worst work stoppage in sports history, leaving the game in crisis, and some fans shaken and angry. Among the major examples of fan protests 3 men wearing T-shirts emblazoned with greed leaped onto the field at Shea Stadium to a standing ovation and tossed $160 in $1 bills at players' feet before being restrained by security, who were loudly booed as the men were escorted from the field.
Wow.
In Cincinnati, one fan paid for a plane to fly over Riverfront Stadium that carried a banner reading, "Owners and players, go to hell with all of you."
To be fair, we had Marge shot at that point. That was, I mean, she should have went to hell a long time ago.
That's a double whammy for Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Fans in Pittsburgh disrupted the opening day game between the Montreal Expos and the Pirates by throwing various objects on the field, causing a 17-minute delay before being warned that the game would be declared a forfeit to the Expos. However, they continued to boo afterwards.
I actually
they were going to make Pittsburgh forfeit the game.
I remember that.
To be fair, they only won 17 games that year. So okay.
In Detroit, fans booed and hurled beer bottles, cans, baseballs, cigarette lighters, and a hubcap onto the field, calling a 12-minute delay, holding up signs saying "Field of Dreams" with dreams slashed out, and being replaced with "Greed" and "Strike." Owners win, players win, fans lose. People were pissed about this.
Pissed.
All right, let's cover the strike. As a result of the strike, a total of 948 games were canceled. That's a lot. And MLB became the first ever major American professional sports league to lose an entire postseason due to the labor dispute. We'll come back to that, but Jesus Christ, guys, baseball was it in the 90s. I don't get it. The second cancellation was the NHL in 2005. Their Stanley Cup got canceled as a result of the entire 2004-2005 season being canceled. Coincidentally, the NHL also experienced a labor dispute of their own in 1994. Crazy. Can we just cancel NHL altogether?
No. More people watch it. Yeah, more people watch it than you think.
Well, they don't watch baseball because of this.
Only Canadians.
In Shreveport.
In Shreveport, Louisiana.
So let's run down this ignorant shit. On December 31st, 1993, Major League Baseball's collective bargaining agreement ran out with no new agreement yet signed. On January 18th, 1994, the owners approved a new revenue sharing plan keyed to a salary cap, which, by the way, that's where this got ugly, which required the players' approval. Not likely, because they didn't want that. Which, why would you? As negotiations continued to heat up, the owners decided to withhold $7.8 million they were required to pay per previous agreement into players' pension and benefit plans. You want to piss them off? Go to their old people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh. The final straw came on June 23rd when the Senate Judiciary Committee failed to approve an antitrust legislation by a vote of 10-7. According to Donald Fear, the players guy at the time, the action left players with little choice but to strike. We felt in 94 we were pushed to it, he said. I still think it's a justified conclusion.
I think you meant president of the Players Union.
Yeah. The players guy. Yeah. On August 31st, 3.5 hours of negotiations with federal mediators produced no progress in the strike, and no further talks were scheduled as the strike went into its fourth week. According to then acting Commissioner Bud Selig, September 9th was the tentative deadline for canceling the rest of the season if no agreement was reached between the owners and the players. By the way, at this point, the owners and the players were not close.
No, not even.
The rest of the season, including the World Series, was canceled by Bud Selig September 14th. After the deadline passed with no compromises, the use of replacement players for spring training and regular season games was approved by baseball's executive council January 13th. That seems like a very bad idea. And it was. Replacement players created major issues for two American League teams. The Toronto Blue Jays could not play games with replacement players or umpires in Ontario due to labor code amendments passed by the Ontario NDP. I don't know what that means. It's Canadian. That prohibited replacement workers. FYI, Canada loves their unions and they will not go against any of them.
Mm-hmm. I'm in one, but I'm not in Canada.
The Baltimore Orioles.
Mm-hmm.
That's weird. The Baltimore Orioles, owned by prominent union lawyer Peter Angelos, announced they would also not be using replacement players. On March 20th, Angelos Orioles canceled the remainder of their spring training games. The next day, the Maryland House of Delegates approved legislation to bar teams playing in Camden Yards from using replacement players. That also big thing. On March 28, 1995, the players voted to return to work if the U.S. District Court supported the National Labor Relations Board's unfair labor practices complaint against the owners.
Unfair labor practices.
Sorry, it's getting breathy.
Tim's getting very gassy.
On April 2nd, 1995, the day before the season was scheduled to start with the replacement players, which have been very problematic. The strike came to an official end at 232 days.
That would have been awesome. Now we need a baseball movie called The Replacements 2.
With Keanu Reeves.
Yeah,
John Wick. Yes.
Except now at his age, he'd be like a first base coach.
No. But even the umpires were out. So the umpires didn't even start the season. They were on strike as well.
Sparky Anderson demoted himself so that he didn't have to manage the major league team.
He said he wouldn't manage replacement players.
And so I believe they sent Cito Gaston, who was the Blue Jays manager, to the minor leagues so he could actually work and draw a check.
So if you pay attention earlier, I put up a banner because we were kind of shit on the 95 Pirates. Timmy said they won 12 games. They actually won 58. But if you do the math, they went 58-86. That's only 144 games. So they still missed 18 games in 95.
Yeah, they didn't start till May 2nd.
Yeah,
right.
Every team played 144 game schedule in 95.
And again, I don't think unless you were an avid baseball fan here in 94, 95, 96, again, until the steroid surge in 97, I don't think people realize, I mean, at 95, 96, baseball was on its last leg.
By the way, the Reds were leading their division in 1994 when it got canceled. I'm going to assume they would have won the World Series. I'm going to hang that one in our house. Cincinnati Reds, 1994 World Champion.
The Tampa Bay Devil Rays were undefeated in 94, so
that's true. There's
also not a team.
I've actually read more books about this 94 strike than I probably should have and watched some documentaries and stuff on it. Pretty much every baseball expert they asked and all those, they're like, it was going to be the Expos.
Yeah, because the Expos were 4 games up
on the Yankees.
On the Yankees for best record.
Yeah, I mean, that team was stacked.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I just watched the like, what do you call it when all the players from the All-Star team like line up on the foul lines to do the national anthem?
The pregame?
There was
introductions.
There was like 7 Expos on that team.
Yeah.
It was absurd. Like everyone says this was the Expos year, and this was also the year that killed the Expos.
Well,
They
to
had to
be
get rid
fair,
of
they
that for
still
us.
couldn't draw shit. So who cares?
I went to the games. That's what was so funny when Tampa Bay Rays owner wanted to do half a season in Tampa and half a season in Montreal.
I remember that. Yeah.
Dude, nobody went to the games in Montreal, you idiot. Why
What
the
do
hell
you-
would you put another baseball team there?
Well, and Tampa and Montreal, I mean, other than the obvious differences, but I just mean as a franchise between the Expos and the Rays is different because they debuted in 68. And between 68 and here in 94, the Expos had only made the playoffs like 5 times. They were mostly trash. I bet you had they made the playoffs and had they gone to the World Series, they would have packed Olympic Stadium.
Well, they
No,
would have
they
for
would've.
that. But I mean, nobody goes to Toronto till they're good and in the playoffs. Then all of
Right.
a sudden it's sold out. There ain't
Because
nobody ever at those games either.
I think a couple of years ago, Toronto played some exhibition games in Montreal, and I think they sold out.
I, for one, think most baseball stadiums are too big.
Yes, I also agree with that.
Baseball stadiums need to be built for about 25,000.
Yeah.
Rich, ain't no one coming to watch a baseball game on Wednesday afternoon in July.
Unless you're New York Yankees or LA Dodgers or Boston Red Sox. I mean, I guess the Cubs and the Cardinals.
But the Cubs are already built for 30,000.
Yeah, but I mean, most of these teams, like even Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to build a new stadium. It's only going to be like a 27,000 seater. They don't need they don't need 50,000 seat stadiums. It's stupid. I mean, you can still watch baseball games to this day, and most of them, dude, they're more than half empty.
Yeah. Do the A's need to be playing in a 68,000 seat Coliseum?
No, they only get 1,000 people at the games.
Yeah, but what's their average attendance? Like 5,000 people. And granted,
Yeah.
that's different because they know they're moving and they're also so they have that going for them too. But like, you know, the historic teams, the Tigers can't draw flies to shit. The White
Although
Sox,
they have a beautiful stadium.
a gorgeous stadium. The White Sox the same way, but granted, they're also dog shit right now.
It's like Miami; they get like 9,000.
But the Miami has never been a good sports town.
No, and
No.
that's for everything. The Dolphins don't sell
Yeah.
out.
The Heat,
Nobody goes to the Hurricanes game unless Florida State's in town.
You know why?
Nobody goes to the Heat. They be having Heat games in the playoffs, and there's still seats available
You know why?
because there's better shit to do.
There's better shit to do in Miami.
Yeah,
like cocaine.
Yeah. Or beaches and fun.
Thongs.
Vice, Miami Vice.
I could talk about this all day, but I'm sure they're probably tired of listening to us by now. So if you enjoy listening to the Newsbooks episode, and if you want to hear us do part 2 on the 94 Major League Baseball labor dispute episode, we're more than ready. And please let us know that. But in your reviews, give us that 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. Make sure to follow the show on Twitter at FF Popcast, on Instagram at Filter Free Podcast. Follow our network at Ram Sports Net on Twitter. As for us, you can find us on our social media platforms at Timmy C,
At Timmy C 1979.
Dollar Bill Dave,
At Dave in the HSV on X.
and I'm at T Stevens 91. 2 announcements before we head out of here today. First of all, make sure you go onto YouTube and find us under Filter Free Podcast. You can get all these shows for free, the video version, if you want to see our faces. Second of all, y'all, we've been threatening for weeks since we did the last game event that, and we tried to give away a free ticket to the Sweet Life coming up. Well, really, it's of your choice, but the next Sweet Life we're doing is in Schaumburg in September.
No, we're not.
We're not doing that anymore.
No, I think it's going to be Rumble.
I need to start-
Indianapolis Rumble.
I need to start going to the meetings. That's better for me, actually. But actually, it's not. Schaumburg's closer. Anyway, again, TBD, to be determined. But we failed on the first one. We had one guy make it to the final round. He didn't make it. And we've been telling you we're going to do another one and give you the chance to win a ticket to the next Sweet Life we do, or the one of your choosing. And y'all, I think we're here. I think we're ready. Coming up on this
In
network,
August.
in August, we are doing the game event with the hostess with the mostest, Mr. Efren. And we're doing the pyramid game.
And we're changing the rules this time
Okay.
because we are obviously the smartest, the prettiest.
We are the smartest, the protest.
Exactly. No, I don't think that. But so we're going to play the game with us and one more member
To be determined.
of the Ram Network. And we're playing Pyramid.
For you.
Yeah, it's my game.
If we win, and I mean, we're going to win, but if we win, one of our Patreon members, patreon.com/Ram Network, will be getting a free ticket. By the way, it's random. We'll be getting a free ticket.
No,
to
we
the next
choose
Sweet
it.
Life. The person who wins?
Yep.
That doesn't seem fair.
Uh-huh.
Because everyone knows. Everyone
No, we're
knows
going to
who we
spin
pick.
the wheel and make a deal.
Oh, fine.
Yeah.
Everyone knows who we'd pick.
Me.
Anyway, yes, it'd be us. But if we win, and we're gonna, a member of ours on our Patreon network at random will win a ticket to our next Sweet Life of your choosing with Efren, the game event. It's coming in August. Get ready. So, as much as I enjoyed this week's episode, great stories. Next week is not going to disappoint either, because we're going to cover August of 1974.
Ugh.
We're in the middle of a pop culture uprising. We're allowed to own our own goals, y'all. And we break the record for trampoline jumps, duration, all that, and so much more.
This is a story.
Is that a good cliffhanger? I'm not sure. That
We're breaking trampoline jump.
now that I've said
records.
it out loud, it kind of sounds shitty. I should have put better ones in there.
You know why they're called trampolines?
Why?
Well, they were called jumpolines till Tim's mom got on one. Joke of the week.
Hey!
Trampoline. Bye, y'all.